Another fantastic episode. Another good one. Another good one. This one was probably the best one, if you asking me. Like, the best one. My energy felt like it was low, but it's probably about to kick up a little bit. And Devin. We got Devin. You see what happens? When Devin gets screen time, the show. But when you gave... Well, I'm not trying to tell you right now. I'm trying to build up to it. But when you give certain people power to individuals, you get a show, and we got it. But if you're new here, please thumbs up the video. Please drop a comment down below. Please subscribe if you are new here. I cannot believe that I'm almost at the final of a season of the challenge. If you're new here, you don't know. I've started many seasons, never finished. This season has kept me all the way through. It's been entertaining. It's been one of the best seasons of the challenge in a long time, especially at this modern day era. But I'm not going to waste any more time because we got a good episode to recap. So let's go. All right, so we started off with Nicole and Melissa flirting. Keep in mind, Nicole has a girlfriend at home. But this is normal for Nicole and Melissa, if you want to keep it real. But they're talking about how their friendship has grown. They feel good about their partnership and possibly getting a start because they're on good terms now. Like, they're really, really close now. And Melissa ends up kissing her, which I was like, okay, that's foul. You know she got a girl back at home. Like, that's foul. Even though it was innocent, it still was like, no, you can't do that. But Veronica comes out and sees it and whatnot, and she's like, she feels like they're pushing the boundary because Nicole got a girl at home. And I'm like, yeah. And these two have a history of fooling around, so it's just like, you playing with fire. But we get Nany FaceTiming Casey, which I gotta say this. Nany without Casey is the Nany that I used to like. Nany was activated today in this episode towards the end. I'm loving Nany this season. And is it because she's not with Casey on the season? Probably. Like, I'm cool with this Nany coming back every single season, even though I can't stand Nany coming back every single season. But if she's going to be like this, I can do it. But she's FaceTiming Casey, which is interesting because we all know they're not together. Telling her about how she's been flinging people out. Like, pretty much like, are you proud of me? You should be proud of me. But they start talking about having a baby and whatnot. And Nany wants to win so that her and Casey can start their family, which, as we know, is probably not going to happen. But Shane and Veronica, we see a scene of them. They're talking, and Veronica ends up asking Shane, like, how does Devin, who, first of all, let me just say this now. Like, 4 different people said her name incorrectly, and it pissed me off. Because it's not hard. It's not hard to pronounce her name, and it's rude to be around somebody, which we know they have been around this woman. And they filmed the confessionals, which I don't know when they filmed the confessionals, but regardless, y'all have been around her for a long time, and we're on episode 9, which we know is at the very end of the season. You've been around her too long to be still mispronouncing her name. It's rude. It's rude. And she's been on TV. You know who she is, and she's been on the challenge. It's like, you don't know. It's like, be for real. It's rude. But she was one of the ones that was mispronouncing her name. But Shane, she ends up asking, like, how Devin feels about her. And Shane's like, I mean, Devin doesn't want to admit it, but she feels like you're outplaying her, which I don't believe that's true. But Devin's not stupid. She knows that Veronica is a good game player, and she is somebody that has to go because that's a threat to her game. Like, duh. But Veronica ends up saying, like, this could be the last chance for her to get a star, and she's getting worried now because she knows that Shane and Devin being together, like I've been saying all season, they're probably the pair that is going to be the hardest to make a decision because both of them, one of them could go rogue when it comes to a decision because they're both very headstrong. But Veronica ends up saying that it's bizarre that Devin does not trust her in this game. And Shane was like thinking, yeah, I'm shocked too. Why? Devin's not stupid. Devin is not dumb. I wouldn't trust Veronica either. Because like I said last season, last week or the week before that, even though I love Veronica in this game, if I was playing the game, I wouldn't trust her either. Because Veronica don't trust nobody. Veronica, she trusts certain people, but Veronica is there for Veronica, which is what she should be doing, which is what I would be doing. But if I know you're really there for you and you're not trying to push me forward, why would I trust you in the game? Shane should know that too, but come on. But Shane wants Devin and Veronica to get on the same page essentially, and we see him talking to Devin, pretty much asking Devin to go talk to Veronica, pretty much stating like, go show face to her so she can kind of calm down or whatever. And Devin said, why? She said, what do you want me to say to her? And Shane says, just go up there and say that we're good. Devin says, you want me to lie? Pretty much saying, like, we're not good. I want her out of here. Devin is so real. And he's like, yeah. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. But Devin says, essentially, in her confessionals, that she don't trust Veronica. And she's trying to get, pretty much because she's trying to get her allies, Turbo and Nany, out of the game. Duh, why would Devin trust her? And of course, Devin wants her gone. Like, Devin knows that she is a threat in this game, mentally and politically. Veronica is somebody that you can't leave in the game because Veronica is smart enough to get herself to the end, even if she's not physically a threat. And Veronica has she's won this game 3 times for a reason. But Shane wants them to work together with Veronica and Katie in the end. I'm like, the headbutt is probably coming. But we get to the mission. And everybody knows the final's close. So they're like, this might be our final chance to get a star. But the mission that they're playing today is called Bubble Bullseye. And it's got these ramps, and they're all in these little tires or whatnot with foam or whatever in the middle. What they're going to do is take turns pushing their partner down a slope, trying to get in the bullseye zone, which is 25 points, I remember, if I remember correctly. But you slide through, and if you end up touching the board, it's a 10-point deduction. If you fall out, you're disqualified. But the objective is to be the team at the end, because they're playing them in rounds, the team at the end to get the most points. And that whoever that team is will win and be safe. If you're a non-star holder, whoever comes in first out of the 9 star holders will get that final star. But Nany and Turbo, they're out first. Nicole and Melissa was next out in the next round. Adam and Steve were out in the next round. And Katie and Veronica were next out after that. Shane and Devin end up getting their star. They're excited. Turbo's excited because he's like, that's my sister. I love Devin and Turbo's their friendship. They've been close since World of Worlds. They was cool on that season. They cool on this season. And I love Devin's friendship with Nany too. Like, it's made me like Nany. But Shane and Devin are up against Frank and Sam for the win, which is just, it's hilarious. Because as we know, Shane and Frank are like this. So the two of them against each other for the win, it just makes sense. But Devin and Shane win, and I was so excited. They won. Devin was screaming, Shane was screaming, and Veronica and Katie know that they're going to probably have to go into the elimination. But Frank, he don't trust Shane and Devin because of Shane, essentially, really, and that rivalry that they got going on, obviously. But he hopes that Nicole and Melissa are going to go in. So Frank gets to work immediately at the mission, telling Adam, like, we can't give Shane the opportunity to fuck us over. Like, at this point, we have to vote in Nicole and Melissa because then Shane would have to essentially fuck over his friend of 20 years to put one of us in against them. And as he's talking, Devin comes slithering over. Like, she's sliding over, got her hair up in her ear. And Frank is facing Adam. Adam's facing Devin. So Frank can't see Devin coming, but I couldn't even tell Adam if Adam be in my comments. So Adam, you tell me, could you see Devin as she was sliding forward? Because they still kept the conversation going, and it got to the point where Frank was saying, like, we cannot allow him to do this. And Devin said, not allow him to do what? I said, exactly. Adam said, Devin said, no, I want Frank to answer. AKA, I want him to do it because I know he the one over here scheming. So Frank ends up saying nothing. Devin says, no, you said not allow what? So what are you not trying to allow? And then Frank says, he's sitting there trying to avoid it. He says, no, you good, girl. You got to start. Devin says, I want to know what you don't want to allow. And Frank ends up saying chaos. And Devin says, what chaos? Frank says, and this is where Devin was activated completely. But Frank says, why are you confronting me? She's not confronting you. Well, she is confronting you, but she's not really. She ain't doing it in a way that he made it seem. He made it seem like she just like pressing on him really hard, even though she was. But in a very cool manner. Like, she wasn't aggressive, none of that. She was just very assertive. Like, I want you to tell me what you're talking about. That's basically what it was. And Frank was caught off guard. He could not, you could tell Frank just didn't know how to cover his tracks because he already knew that she knew that he was scheming. He didn't know and didn't have a way to pivot because he couldn't really think about it because she caught him off guard. But Devin says, I'm not confronting you. I just walked up. And she ends up peeping like she knows that they're trying to get the non-star holders, which would be Katie and Nicole, or Katie and Nicole and Melissa to go against Veronica and Katie so that they can get a chance to steal a star. And she knows they're going to steal Nany and Turbo's, which are her number one allies in the game. She's not stupid. She sees what they're doing. And she's like, I'm asking a question. And Devin says, you're fishing. And Devin says, I want to know what you were saying. Like, I want to know what y'all was over here talking about. And Adam ends up saying something along the lines of, like, Nicole and Melissa came up to you. And Frank says, yeah, exactly that, girl. I said, don't start. Don't start with the girl and this. That is a grown woman. And she has a name. And Devin says swiftly, my name is Devin. Like, let's not do that. And Frank ends up saying, don't do that because you allow Shane to talk to you however you want. You're such a hypocrite. Absolutely not. Watch that mouth when you're talking to Devin. Don't do it. But Adam ends up saying that he wants Devin to feel supported. And if Frank is saying somebody's name, he needs to take accountability for it, especially if you feel like you ain't doing nothing wrong. Talk about it, Adam. Talk about it. But Devin ends up saying that she's going to say her. We didn't know who it was because she pointed, but we couldn't see who it was because Nicole and Melissa was over there and Veronica and Katie was over there too. So I don't know which one she was pointing at. But she said, whatever y'all do is y'all's business. That's what I'm going to do. Shane and Devin have their direct-to-camera confessional with the producers at the challenge. And Shane's like, the second you win, it's like a pressure cooker turns on. And Devin's like, right. Like, I literally just caught Frank over here scheming and whatnot. And she was like, the moment that we won, your friends was over there comforting him. I just want you to know that. Like, pay attention to the people that you're trying to protect, the people that you want me to agree to protect. They're not even over here celebrating our win. I'm included, but they're your friends, and you just won, and they're not here celebrating you. I want you to keep remembering that. She's like, yeah, look. And he's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, Devin ain't lying. But back at the house, Katie, Veronica, and Frank, they're sitting around talking, kind of strategizing, and they're talking about, like, if Shane blocks Veronica from getting the stars fucked up. And Veronica's like, I feel like the only people I can trust in this game right now is Katie, Frank, Sam, Adam, and Steve. Not saying Shane. I'm like, Devin doing it. But she says she doesn't think that her friendship with Shane will oversee and overpower Devin's relationships that she has, even though she's really got Devin's probably closest allies in the house are only Nany and Turbo. I'm thinking like, because I know she said that she's cool with Sam and Katie, and I know she's cool with Melissa too. And to a certain degree, I would say Nicole, but like her closest, the ones that she probably fully trusts the most in that game would be Nany and Turbo. So it's like Shane got more other options, truthfully. But they head out to go out. Well, they try to head out. And Veronica falls down the stairs and rolls her ankle. Everybody gets her back in the house. She's tripping out because she's like getting deja vu of the last time she fell, which was during All-Stars 3, right before the finals. And she ended up getting eliminated and DQ'd because of the injury. So she's concerned that it's going to happen again. They're in there wrapping her ankle, trying to nurse her back to health. And Shane is over there trying to tell them how to elevate her leg to get the blood flow. And Frank is sitting over there rolling his eyes. It's just so funny. Like the most simplest of things. Like trying to help somebody. They both are still having animosity. It was cracking me up. But Shane takes over. Frank's aggravated sitting there watching it. And Shane's like, I can't stand Frank. Like, I want him and Sam to go home, and I'm going to be petty about it. We know you will. But we get to the house vote. TJ ends up asking if anybody got anything to say. Melissa volunteers and is like, yeah, we going in. We want to get our star. And TJ ends up asking, like, who y'all hoping to even go against? And she's like, I don't want to go up against our friends, but we got the only other non-star holder here, and we know that if we end up winning, we get to take somebody's star. Like, that's really what it is. But she didn't say that. But Adam and Steve, Adam feels like nobody will have an issue because they're nominating themselves. And TJ ends up asking the star holders, like, how do y'all feel about this? Turbo says they setting it up to steal our star. Like, they see right through it. And Nany says, like, with Devin and Shane's partnership, you never know how it's going to go, which is what I just said. Like, they're not consistently on the same page because both of them are headstrong. Both of them are alphas. Both of them are on different sides of the house. So it's like, as a team, it's like you really don't know what could possibly happen because neither one of them can really control each other. But Nany's nervous about that. Nicole and Melissa, they're going in the jungle. Nicole knows there's a possibility that Shane and Devin won't send Katie and Veronica in, but they all disperse and head back in the house. And Nany is telling Shane in the room with Devin that she gets like, you gonna have to have Veronica's back. I get that because you're friends and whatnot. And Shane's like, but you and Turbo are an unbeatable team, and y'all are a strong team here. Not stronger than Adam and Steve. But Nany ends up saying, and Nany said it, if I'm being honest, we've yet to win a challenge. Yes, we've won 2 eliminations, but we have not won a challenge. Which means if we can't win a challenge, yes, we can win eliminations, but the final is not an elimination. A challenge is essentially, depending on what it is, it could be a puzzle, it could be a sprint. which is kind of teasers of the actual final. And who's the team that has actually won finals? She's saying, like, there's a team here who has sent damn near every team out of here. There's a team here, it's talking about the same team, that have won challenges. And who you think that she's talking about? Adam and Steve. Adam, appreciate you for watching, but if I was in this game, you out of here. I'm targeting you. So I fully understand why Nany is saying what she's saying, and it's a good pitch. But Devin is over there shaking her head like, yeah, hello. But Nany says she doesn't understand the logic, but it's obviously because it's a friendship. But your friends don't pay your bills. I said, hello? Hello. Which is why I can't stand the most recent seasons of this show, because and it's funny coming from Nany, because Nany plays that friendship game in the past, but she's not doing it now. But that game where you just like want to just take your friends to the end, take my friends, especially if one of my friends could beat me. No, we playing a game. I'm here for some money. I'm a sore loser, though, and I'm very competitive, so I don't care who you are. I'm winning. But Devin ends up saying, like, it's going to be hard for her because she knows that Nany and Turbo's name will not come out of her mouth. But if she's going to go along with the plan, she's essentially being a part of the plan for them to steal their star. And it's just not sitting right with her. I mean, I could feel that. But they get to the jungle. Melissa and Nicole go down there, waiting to hear who Shane and Devin are going to throw down. TJ ends up asking Shane and Devin, so who's it going to be? Shane's like, it's going to be Katie and Veronica. They start getting ready to walk down, and David's like, She says, what happens if we disagree? I said, oh, shit. Everybody's mouth dropped. Everybody's. Nany was loving it because she's like, oh, shit, Devin might be actually about to do this. And Devin ends up saying, like, do I need to make my partner? She's saying this in her confessional. Do I need to make him a little bit nervous now? Like, do we need to get ready to go into elimination? And Veronica's sitting there saying in her confessional, like, if they disagree, they might even go into the elimination themselves. But Devin then says she's just playing. Like, I'm just playing. They all start laughing because they was like, what is she about to do? But Devin says, like, Veronica, I think she's a great player. I think she's a great person. But she got to go because you affected my partner. I got to get my partner back together. Like, you got to get out of the equation so that I can get control of him and he's not thinking about you and he can only think about us and our game. Smart. But she knows that essentially they're going to try and steal Nany and Turbo's star. But she's like, at this point, it's every man for themselves. Like, if they're really my friends, once this game is over, we're going to be friends. But if it's not, God bless. I said, if that ain't some shit, I would say. But we get to the game. The game is called Pin Pop. There are 4 platforms in the middle, so there's 2 on each side. Each platform is connected to a rope with a bunch of balloons underneath, and it's in between. I don't know what I wrote. And there's a giant pin that's on this rope. And they're going to have to guide that pin with their partner, because one person's on this side, the other person's on this side. They're going to guide the pin down and use it to pop the balloons. Now, they have to pop it in the bullseye to pop the balloon. If they pop it from the outside, it doesn't count. The team to pop the most balloons the fastest will get to steal somebody's star and win the elimination. Long story short, it was really, really close towards the end, but Nicole and Melissa, they ended up winning. Davin's happy because Veronica is gone, which means that means Shane will not have to worry about her, and now they can focus on them as a partnership. But she loved Katie. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love Katie? And I love Veronica too. Like, both of them are true OGs, true entertainers. Like, every season they've been on, present, especially past, entertainment. They deliver. The OGs always deliver. Especially if you're new to the challenge, go watch them old seasons. Like, them vintage seasons when I was a kid, boy, there was nothing better. But Veronica and Katie, they're leaving on better terms. Love it. And everybody's sad to see them go home, though. Obviously, because legends in the game. But Frank, he wants Adam and Steve gone now that Veronica's gone, because Veronica was essentially his right-hand woman. But now that she's gone, like, he knows Adam and Steve got to go, because they are literally the biggest threat to him in this game. And he only kind of went along with Adam and Steve to kind of, like, be in good with Veronica. But now that Nicole and Melissa, it's now time for them to steal a star. Nany and Turbo are stressed out because they know it's likely going to be them. Melissa then starts off saying that we need to take out the best players. But she proceeds to talk about Turbo and Nany. I said, Adam and Steve are right there. They're the best players in this game. Like, what are you doing? She starts talking about how Turbo's rude and he's a prick. I'm like, be for real. Be for real. Like, play the game. You're close to the final. Get out the person. Like, I would snatch Adam and Steve's star so quick. Because what they're all thinking is that this is probably the last elimination, and the person without a star, the team without a star, is probably going to go home. Why would you not get out the threats? Take their star and hope that they get to go home. But no. But she ends up saying, like, Nany's my friend and whatnot. But Nicole and Melissa, they steal their star. TJ ends up saying, and that's because Nany butts in and says because they want to lose to Adam and Steve in the final. I said, clock it. And Nicole ends up saying, but we wouldn't be here without them. And you're still here. They're still here. You know they're going to beat you. You better get them out now. Because if they don't get them out now, they're going to win. Like, I guarantee you that. They're going to win. But Nicole says that, and Nany says fair. Like, I don't care at this point. Just take my star. Let's wrap this shit up because I'm expecting to go home at this point. So Nany ends up saying to her confessionals, like, Steve and Adam are not going to pay your bills. She was like, Melissa, think about you in your game. Think about your daughter. I said she threw the whole tree. Fuck the shade. That was a tree. But Nany and Turbo, they walk over to the side without their star. And as they're doing that, because TJ told them to go over to that side, Nany's like, okay, so what's about to happen? We out now? That's what it is. TJ was sitting there looking like, but of course he said we going back to the mission tomorrow. So Nany's now relaxed at that point because she thought she was going home, but she ain't fully relaxed. But Melissa is now regretting, or at least looking like she might be, saying maybe we took the wrong star because they could possibly end up going to another elimination and they could probably pull them in and take their star and send their ass home. But Nany, she's crashing out low-key, crying. She says she's sick of them people in that house. I'm tired of being fake. I'm tired of being nice. And Turbo's like, every time you come so far to the final, something happens. Like, you got me here this time. You're just traumatized. But you got me here. You got to trust me. Turbo is a good partner to have. Because Turbo is a beast in these games. But Nany says, I'm bitter. I'm frustrated. I've been nice all season. But I'm over it. I can't be nice no more. I don't blame you. I wouldn't be nice either. She said, we're not backing down. Me and Turbo going to find a way to steal somebody's star. And honestly, I hope they do. Like, I'm actually really rooting for Nany this season. I actually like Nany this season. I've always been a fan of Turbo. Call me crazy. I know it's a controversial one because Turbo is kind of but he's good TV. Like, Turbo's good TV. And I see his logic with certain things. Like, I do. But if you ask me, the teams that I really am rooting for, obviously Devin. Like, I'm biased towards her. Shane has been entertaining. Like I said, Nany and Turbo. Frank is entertaining. But I like all the teams, truthfully, though. We got some good teams in the final, so I'm very excited to see how the rest of this season goes. But if you got this far and have not already, thumbs up the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought on this. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see y'all next week. Episode 10. I cannot believe I'm this far in, but we doing good. See y'all next week. Peace.